What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at every episode that each One Piece character has been in. It may sound like a boring list, but this is the type of stuff I find interesting, so let's get into it. Rocks and Emu, the lowest at 2 episodes. Rocks hasn't even been revealed yet, right? They talk about him, so I guess he's been talked about twice. Kuina, only 7. A lot of these early characters and then some backstory characters, because the arcs were a lot shorter earlier on in the story, so I guess it makes sense. Or some newer ones like the Gorosei. I'm sure they'll be in more soon. Laboon only 11. Makino 12. Yeah, a lot of backstory guys here to start with. And then we'll probably get to a few more, characters that we see often. Dragon 22. People always talk about him not appearing that much, but he's been in 22 episodes. A lot more recently, I guess. Which actually this came out a while ago, so he might have been in more since then. Arlong 28, Zeph 29. That's more than I thought that the Baratier was. But I guess Zeph has been in some backstory episodes as well. Perona and Roger. I feel like Perona would be a little bit more than that. Cody, King. Only 38 for King. Okay. I feel like Onigashima itself was 100, and he was in a lot of those. Bellamy in 41. Makes sense. He was in 2 different arcs. Bon Clay as well. Rayleigh. The Germa 66. They were in a lot of episodes, man. Dang. Doesn't even feel like that much. Hawkins 45. Shanks 45. Wow. Shanks has been in way more than I thought. I thought he would be 15. Mihawk 45 as well. Katakuri 45. Shanks and Mihawk have the same amount of episodes as Katakuri? We saw Luffy fight Katakuri for 30. Maybe Shanks has been mentioned in 45. I doubt. I find it hard to believe we've seen him in 45 episodes. Sabo 48. Yeah, because Sabo's only 3 more, and Sabo had a whole arc. Like with Luffy's childhood arc. Blackbeard 50, Hiyori 50. Reiju 51, okay. These are some characters we've seen a lot. Garp 51, Kizaru 51, Sabaody plus the Marineford battle. Why is Akainu the Doge Dog, man? 53 episodes for him. Dendro 53. Some of these Wano characters you wouldn't expect to be in so many, but it's just because Wano was so dang long. Like Orochi, 57 episodes. We have Fujitori here, 57 as well. I wonder how accurate these numbers are. I don't know. Hachin 59. He was around for a while. Soj King, that was 60 episodes, wow. And he's never returned since. Hancock, Ragabluchi. We got Ivanko. Huh. Whitebeard is in more than I thought, too. Tama. This is just making me realize how many characters we see in Onigashima / Wano. And I guess there's a lot of other characters here that we only see for a couple episodes that weren't listed either. Bartolomeo 77. Here's a lot of the Dressrosa guys. Rebecca's there. Smoker. Vivi. These are some... We're in the long portion now. These are the OGs. Kiku was in a lot of episodes. I guess we met her pretty early on into Wano. Or him. Ooh, sorry about that. I always get confused. Kid. Ace. 105 for Ace. Ace was in a lot more than I thought, but I guess Marineford, he was in every one of those episodes. Kanjuro. 106. Kaido. Doflamingo. Here's Momo. And then the Straw Hats should be more, but I'm curious who's going to be less, because there were some of them only in Dressrosa and some of them only in Whole Cake Island. So I'm kind of curious what those ended up being for them. 1000 Sunny 182. Kinemon was in more episodes than the 1000 Sunny. Wow. Jinbei 207. Law 231. So all the Straw Hats are in a lot of episodes. Jinbei didn't even join until recently, so will the next Straw Hat also be in this episode range? Carrot, Kinemon, they're not gonna join. Law might be the next Straw Hat pirate. He's got 231 episodes. And then here we go with the rest of the Straw Hats. Brook, Frankie. Frankie's in, wow, that's a lot more than Brook. And Brook joined just after Frankie, but Frankie, I guess, was in Water 7 as well before he joined, so it makes sense. Robin 550. Chopper 629. Sanji 665. Usopp 702. Luffy should be every single one. Why does that say plus Sochikane? Sochikane is a different dude. That's weird. 703 for Zoro. He's just barely one up. Nami 712. And then Luffy's 979. Luffy, how many episodes? He's only missed like 30 episodes, but what episodes would those be? Because even in a lot of the random ones, they like showed the Straw Hats for a little bit at least. All right, let's take a look at these. Highest rated One Piece episodes. I'm curious what these are. Probably a lot of recent episodes, but hopefully there's a few old ones. Because the recent ones are here because of the writing, but also the animation. Yeah, I mean, look, we got all in the 1000s to start here. I do like that it's animated up here, or clips of it at least. Buggy the Genius Jester was a 9.1? Really? That's above several other ones. Luffy's Dream, Secrets of Enma, Gear 5th. Buggy's the Genius Jester episode is 9.1 and is the same as the Luffy Gear 5th episode. Luffy's Defeated. We got Towards a New Era. This was a cool episode with the Brook-like skeleton that Zoro sees. Unusual United Front. That's a 9.2. That's a recent episode. That's not one that I would expect to be a 9.2. I would give it like a high 8, personally. Luffy versus Kaido. Just a lot of Luffy versus Kaido fights, which, you know, expected. Luffy soars. That's a sick one. Garp and Kuzan's a 9.3. I wonder how many like 9.9 and 10s there are. The Two Arms Going to Battle. That's a sick episode. Kobe to the Hero is a 9.3. And this isn't even the one where Rayleigh pulls up, I don't think. Because we saw that one at the start. Luffy's Final Powerful Technique. More than like half of these top episodes have been Luffy versus Kaido. King Cobra's Resolve is a 9.4. Law and Blackbeard a 9.4 as well. I mean, two pretty good episodes, can't lie. Then we got Sanji versus Queen, a 9.5. Top Billing is Coming, a 9.5 as well. That Luffy episode with Lucci is also a really good episode, so fair enough. There's no old ones though. I was really hoping, are there really no old episodes of One Piece that are rated that high? Like, is animation really taken into account? Like, for real? There are some really good old episodes of One Piece. Yeah, we just got a ton of the most recent ones, which will probably drop as they gain more time and reviews. Oh, there's Luffy versus Lucci. So like every recent One Piece episode is a 9.6, 9.7. They're good. I don't know if they're that good though. And then the top one is a 9.7. Straw Hat Luffy 115. Makes sense. What was that one before that? Shanks and Kid is a 9.7. Are we sure? It's a good episode, but it's a 9.7 out of 10. I feel like I can be a harsh ranker or rater at times. I give everything like a 7 to 8, but I think that's how it should be. A 10 out of 10 or a high 9 should be really, really difficult to attain. And some of these episodes are definitely good, like 8s, but not high 9s in my opinion. That's all I think about it. And I definitely think some other episodes should be up there. Those were all like 1000 and recent. There should definitely be some older episodes up there, because there are some great episodes of One Piece within the first 1000 episodes of the series, not just this last 15, or not 15, but 1000 and however many there is now. Thanks for watching. I got a cool video next video. Make sure to stay tuned.